FoxDen Radio, the place where the Fox Finance community meets to chat, get updates from the team, conduct interviews, and answer questions. My name is Dave, also known as TheDude abides in Canada.
Life goes on, man.
I'm the founder of the FoxDen and the host of FoxDen Radio. Join us as we grow this FoxDen Radio project, and you will gain the power to answer life's most mysterious question.
What does the fox say? The secret of the fox, ancient mystery, somewhere deep in the woods. I know you're hiding. What is your sound? Will we ever know? Will always be a mystery. What do you think?
Well, what does the FoxDen team have to say today?
Let's start with some team updates from Fox Finance. So, as you know, the Fox in Action contests are opportunities for holders to get rewarded for taking action in the real world to make a difference with endangered species and the environment. And our recent Fox in Action contest concluded. We made 6 donations to the World Wildlife Federation to support endangered species. So feeling good about sponsoring 6 animals. Thanks to everyone who participated, and we're looking forward to finding some more ways to help foxes and all other animals on the endangered species list. Check out the World Wildlife Federation. It's a great charity to help make a difference to all the animals that need our help. Next, the moderator contest is coming back. Yes, so this was something that I pioneered back in the summer that was quite popular and successful. We're bringing it back. We're going to make some more contests and games to reward people that are helping to pump up Fox, answer questions in the chat, do all those things that make our community vibrant and attractive to new people to join. So Daniel Solfox is the board member for the area of operations and moderation. So he was recently given a budget at a meeting of the board of advisors so that he can develop a new moderator contest. So stay tuned for your chance to win Fox tokens by helping to moderate this amazing community. Next, we're investing in marketing. So we're researching different places to advertise Fox and the NFT marketplace. And we're also expanding our in-house team. We're producing different types of content. We're producing more content with the team members we have on board. For example, one thing that we've learned in the space of crypto is that doing things is important, but the perception of doing things is also just as important. So we made this plan to burn liquidity, as many of you know, as a way to try and stimulate the token. And we announced a poll about doing this. Well, that poll about doing it, it caused as much of a spike as when we actually burned liquidity. So the perception of doing something can be just as impactful as the thing actually happening. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that because we've been investing in marketing. We've done this liquidity burns and things have been successful. And I really want to maximize the return we get on that investment. So we're creating advertisements and stuff to show, maybe with some graphs and charts, how our liquidity burns had an impact on volume and price, how the number of types of impressions that we're getting from our advertisements in different platforms, things like that. So that way we'll kind of help the community to know about the work that we're doing and provide some transparency as we invest more in marketing. And we're trying to find which is getting the best return on our investment, right? There's a lot of things that are really flashy and look cool. For example, billboards. But, we really want to choose things that are going to lead to direct purchases. It's not just building brand awareness at this point. We do have a limited budget for our marketing. So we really want to invest in things that are going to give us the best return and really attract people to the project in a constructive kind of way. So keep your eyes out for increased advertising coming up as all the functions of the NFT marketplace become available. That's when a lot of this will be coming out. So know that we do care about marketing, and we're doing our research and planning, and it's all coming together. Last update I want to give from the team is about the website forum. So Henry worked out some of the bugs. It's up and functioning now. So there's two kind of parts to it. There's like the discussion forum aspect, and then there's the profile system, which is going to be where people get points for participation, and that will be to facilitate the governance model that I'm developing. The profile aspect of the system, that part is still under development, but I would like to tell you about the different sections of the forum and the goals and plans for that side of it. So some of these following folders that I'm going to describe to you, they'll be open to the public, while others will be more for internal organization of board members, associates, and the interns. So this is kind of what I've got mapped out for the website. So one of the main folders will be for GameFi. So this is where we're going to have games where we can different dApps. So I would like to have things produced in-house, that we have Fox games and Fox dApps. I think that's going to be something that's really fun, that will drive attention to Fox. And also in here, other play-to-earn games. I really think that this is a huge opportunity for crypto to get mass adoption. People figure out that they can earn money by playing video games, then I think we're going to get a lot more attention from the general public. So really excited about that. So obviously, that's going to take development from software engineers and things like that, but that's part of the vision for part of the website. Another folder would be for Fox in Action. So that's where people can get rewarded with Fox tokens or NFTs for taking actions in the real world to help endangered species in the environment. Like we had plant a tree, we had an Earth Day cleanup kind of thing. So different types of projects that we've done. So we'll have partly here will be the current project, so you can see what is happening, how people can participate and get involved. Also within this folder, we'll have project planning. So if people have ideas for different future plans, we can totally get them. That's one awesome thing about Fox Finance, is the community is really encouraged to participate. Another part of this folder will be for reviewing entries. So we do have to check and make sure that people are following the rules. Unfortunately, there's always people who try and scam things. So we really want to be rewarding sincere participation. So that'll be part of the process of the website for that. And then, of course, we'll also have an archive because we want to be able to show off the different things we've done in the past, so people can see how we're making a difference and maybe get some inspiration for future projects. So another folder on the website will be for moderation. So this is would be an internal organizational folder, but here we could have things like for schedules, so developing plans for coverage of different time slots throughout the day and at different parts of the world, that kind of thing. As well, here some information to share. So my vision is for like a centralized hub, a folder where moderators can get the latest updates from here and then just copy and paste on different platforms, that kind of thing, making sure we have internal consistency. Part of this would also be for the language group. So we want to try and increase our services in other language besides English. So that will be a goal here. And also, of course, we'll have like a band member area, right? Because, there could be people who are doing things on multiple usernames and multiple platforms. So just to coordinate, if people are trying to scam people, like for example, sometimes people will impersonate team member, that kind of thing, to just have awareness of this so that we can kind of protect each other and community members from that type of behavior. Next, another folder imagining for our promo content. So some of the advertisements and images, videos, audio, articles could all be in one folder. Again, this could be stuff that could be shared far and wide, and just have a kind of central hub for this, so that we could be sending out certain ads on paying for them to be hosted on sites, but also just be spreading them out on social media. So the community folder is also going to be a big one. So there'll be a section here on this gamification to kind of explain and help to enroll people in the GameFi aspect of it, and how people get rewarded for participating, whether that's through actual video games or Fox in Action. We're going to have a FoxDen leaderboard, so people are going to get points for their participation. So we'll have a leaderboard to celebrate those people. I want to have a section for passion projects. So if people really care about something to do with the animals or the environment, they could put it here and get people on board to donate or volunteer. And also within it, there will be a folder for team support. So this will be kind of like our HR type of thing. So this will be an internal organizational thing, but that's going to be an important part of providing support to the team. Another part of the website will be the gallery and archive. So having the team members, Fox in Action archive, like the photos of people participating would be great to see, as well as like archives of past promotion or networking contacts, that kind of thing. Education. Now, this is kind of an exciting thing I'm interested in. So not only does it include internal training for board members, associates, and interns, we have some visions for some crypto education and awareness raising. So that could be something that we tie into the GameFi as well. So maybe people could get earn for learning how to do different things in crypto. So something I've seen on other websites we could replicate here. There'll be another folder for governance. So having the current board of advisors, information about election campaigns, like upcoming or past ones. I'll have information here about policies and procedures that the board follows, and just kind of meeting notes or like agendas for transparency. There'll be a finance folder as well with kind of current reports that are going on, archives, projections, tax information. So that would be mostly internal. However, for the tax information, we may provide just like some general resources to help people, because just to give general information about policies in different countries, because we are a legal project and paying taxes, so we'll help other people to do the same. Research and development, of course, that's going to be part of the website. So we want to be able to take proposals here from community members and for ideas, of course. Here we'll have the current projects that are going on in research and development, as well as archives. Any internal resources that they need would be an internal folder here. Networking, so again, proposals that people are often suggesting collaboration with other projects. This is something where community could be making proposals. We could talk about our current partners and things that are going, so people want to build on those, that would work. If we have network specific promotions or clips that we could use to send out to people, or like email templates could go here, as well as any archives. Last part of the website that I'm envisioning is for merchandise. So again, having a section for proposals. Want to give the community an opportunity to share ideas. We'll talk about current projects, current items that are for sale as well, and archives looking past kind of things. And then also like the production and development side of things will be maybe an internal type of document related to merchandise, but excited for the potential there. So gives you a little bit of a vision of what we're working on for the discussion forum, in addition to the governance process that will be built in with the profile system. This is kind of what we've got mapped out for the layout of the forum and what's coming in the future. So hope you can see that we're well organized. We're developing lots of plans for Fox Finance, and appreciate you taking the time to listen to the latest updates from the team. The music for today's show is from Canadian DJ Rezz, born Isabel Rezzaday. She's a music producer and DJ born in the Ukraine, raised by her Iranian father and Ukrainian mother, before moving to Canada at a young age. Her music has been described as genre-smashing, it's sinister and dark with heavy bass. In the percolating world of electronic dance music, a young artist can make the jump from learning the ins and outs of bedroom studio production to playing fist-pumping, festival-sized sets at a speed that would have been unthinkable in the pre-internet era, but Rezz has done it. She's made that leap with a self-assured poise that's rare among up-and-coming producers. She's been perfecting her singular sound, one that's dark, tough, and mesmerizingly paced, generally hovering around a creepy-crawly 100 beats per minute range. Since the days of those early SoundCloud uploads, and she's been perfecting it ever since. She's enlisted some heavy hitters to aid in that effort. Her debut EP, Insurrection, came in July 2015 via Nest, the label arm of the Skrillex-associated NextHQ website. And subsequent work has been released on the Deadmau5-themed label Mousetrap. Rezz has grown ever more sure of herself as gigs too. Wearing her trademark hypno goggles, she works the crowd like an old pro. She says it happened because of the internet, basically. I was releasing a lot of my music for free, she says, on her SoundCloud page, and a lot of blogs were picking it up. Those blogs surprisingly attracted a lot of people who were in the industry. One of the guys at NextHQ found me, and Skrillex and Deadmau5 ended up following me and said, "We have to do something with you," end quote. Rezz describes her sound as spacey, slow-paced, heavy, dark, creepy, peculiar, alien music maybe, but she definitely wouldn't call it techno, even though so many other people call it that. The latest album by Rezz is a compilation of tracks called Spiral. Her latest single is a collaboration with Deadmau5 called Hypnocurrency. They're both into the crypto scene, and this track has some chart-watching, just slightly nervous energy to it. So, Hypnocurrency, definitely a reference to cryptocurrency in my opinion. So, get ready to ride the roller coaster and listen to Hypnocurrency by Rezz. right, welcome to the environmental news section of FoxDen Radio. Our first article is by Matt Clinch for CNBC. Countries strike deal at the COP26 climate summit after last-minute compromise on coal. Subheadline is, "Make no mistake, we're still on the road to hell." The UN meeting in Glasgow, Scotland was billed as humanity's last and best chance to keep the all-important goal of 1.5 degrees Celsius alive, the minimum temperature threshold set in the 2015 Paris Agreement. And yet, they could not even agree to the eventual phase-out of the use of coal. India, among the world's biggest burners of coal, raised a last-minute change of the fossil fuel language in the pact, going from a, quote, phase out of coal to a, quote, phase down. After initial objections, opposing countries ultimately conceded. Delegates had struggled to resolve major sticking points, such as the phasing out of coal, fossil fuel subsidies, and financial support to low-income countries. In an emotional address to assembled delegates, the UK's COP26 President Alok Sharma said he was deeply sorry for the way the process had unfolded. Quote, "I understand the deep disappointment. It's also vital we protect this package," quote, said Sharma. Keeping average temperatures from surpassing the 1.5% level requires the world to almost halve greenhouse gas emissions, cut them in half in the next 8 years, and reach net zero emissions by 2050. It is critically important to prevent the worst of what the climate crisis has in store. The world's leading scientists have warned the world has already warmed 1.1 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, and the latest projections, despite numerous pledges at the Glasgow summit, show that the world is on track for a rise of 2.4 degrees Celsius by the end of the century. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres had bluntly warned the carbon-cutting pledges on the table during the final throes of the marathon talks were very probably not enough to avert a climate catastrophe. He told the Associated Press news agency that the goal of keeping 1.5 degrees Celsius alive was on, quote, life support. Climate activists and campaigners have been sharply critical of COP26, describing it as a, quote, exclusionary fortnight of talks centered on business as usual and blah, blah, blah. Rachel Kennerly, climate campaigner of environmental group Friends of the Earth, said in a statement Saturday, quote, "The road to 1.5% just got harder when these talks should have cleared the way to making it a whole lot easier." Several countries expressed their grievances to this change, and the environmental experts are deeply concerned the updated terminology creates a loophole that will delay urgently needed climate action. An analysis published by Global Witness on Monday found that there were more delegates associated with the fossil fuel industry at that event than from any single country. It raised serious questions about the credibility of the talks, particularly because it is the burning of fossil fuels that is the chief driver of the climate crisis. The next article is about the TheDude's region of British Columbia in Canada. Many of the highways in the province were destroyed recently due to massive flooding, historic flooding. I live on a mountain, so I'm okay, but this is another example of global warming having an effect locally. This article is from the New York Times. It's by Ian Austin and Jose Isai. Headline, Vancouver is marooned by flooding and besieged again by climate change. After a summer of deadly heat and uncontrolled wildfires, British Columbia was hit by record rainfalls that forced the evacuation of towns and destroyed highways and rail lines. The intense rains and heavy winds that descended last week on British Columbia, the Canadian province known for its mountains, coastline, and majestic forests, forced 17,000 people from their homes, emptying entire towns and inundating farms. Vancouver, Canada's third largest city, lost its road and rail links to the rest of the country, cut off by washed-out bridges and landslides. It was the second time in 6 months that the province had endured a major weather-related emergency, and experts say the two disasters are probably related to changes in the climate. British Columbia has been besieged this year by record-breaking heat, wildfires, and floods. The disasters have killed hundreds, including 3 people in the recent rains, and caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damage. The impact has rippled across Canada after hobbling the province and the Port of Vancouver, which is vital to the country's economy. In the last 6 months, BC has both burned and drowned, said Maren Smith, the Executive Director of Clean Energy Canada, a climate program at Simon Fraser University in Vancouver. Quote, so there's really no greater evidence of climate change right now than here in British Columbia. In July, record temperatures as high as 121 degrees Fahrenheit brought drought and uncontrollable wildfires. The heat, which was concentrated in the province's interior, killed 595 people from June to August, and fire consumed an entire town of Lytton. The floods last week have spared more lives, but have destroyed vital infrastructure and left freight to pile up at Vancouver's port, Canada's gateway to Asia. The country's supply lines have been disrupted, as well as at a time when American ports are too backed up to offer much help. Experts said that the events in the sequence, heat, fire, drought, and flood, could produce so-called compound effects. A drought can dry out vegetation, which in turn can fuel and intensify fires. Fire itself can weaken or kill plants and make the soil less permeable, meaning that the rain is more likely to run off rather than soak in. One thing is certain, these weather events were made worse because of climate change. Because the interior region had already had an unusually wet fall, the ground was saturated before the storm hit. Compounding the situation, there was relatively little snow at higher altitudes to soak up water. In addition, the summer of extreme heat, drought, and wildfires had left little vegetation to slow or prevent mudslides. Canada has yet to rein in its oil and gas industry, particularly oil sands operations based largely in neighboring Alberta. Ms. Smith of Clean Energy Canada said, quote, we need to reduce the emissions from the oil and gas sector. It is one of Canada's biggest challenges. All of these other good policies, we need to see them implemented without delays. There's a lot of inaction that gets disguised as flexibility, and we're past that time. While the water has started to recede in most flood zones, it's unclear when evacuees will return home or abandoned cars will be returned to their owners. And more danger may be ahead for British Columbia. Forecasts predict another batch of heavy rain this week. One last environmental news item from Scotland. So there's this cool animal advocacy group called the West Midlands Hunt Saboteurs. So they use a number of tactics, including direct action, to investigate, document, and take action when necessary to expose and confront cruelty in the countryside. They're out 3 to 4 days a week during the hunting season to save hunted foxes and persecuted wildlife from the hunters. Headline is, campaigners are calling on the police to take action against the Warwickshire hunt, claiming foxes are still being hunted. The group West Midlands Hunt Saboteurs said it has recorded recent video footage of the hunt chasing foxes. They claimed on Saturday, November 6th, that the hunt pursued at a Newborough farm in Oxhill, although the saboteurs said they managed to save the fox by laying false scents for the hunters. And on Wednesday, the 3rd of November, Warwickshire Hunt was filmed flushing out foxes at Gibraltar House Farm in Broadwell. The incidents follow the killing of a fox on the 6th of September, which was reported to the police. However, no charges have yet been brought. A spokesperson for the Hunt Saboteurs told the Herald, every time we follow the Warwickshire Hunt, numerous foxes are being chased. It's blatant hunting. It's very obvious that there is hunting going on in Warwickshire, and the hunters are getting away with it. They go back to the same woods and areas which we've documented, and foxes are being hunted. The spokesperson said it was frustrating that police had failed to act. In a long statement on fox hunting, Warwickshire Police spoke of the difficulties in enforcing the law and appearing to take sides. They said, quote, "We have found that often people are reluctant to engage with our investigation. Without the cooperation of those reporting an allegation of criminology, it is almost impossible to secure a successful prosecution. Without statements and without evidence, it is incredibly difficult for action to be taken. Any video footage needs to be properly accounted for by the person who filmed it for it to be admissible in court." One of the declared interests of police and crime commissioner for Warwickshire, Philip Seacombe, is a member of the Countryside Alliance, which is opposed to the ban on fox hunting and works for the police. His office said that, nevertheless, his expectation was that the law would be enforced, including that on fox hunting. A spokesperson said, quote, "The commissioner's expectation, as with all potential crime reports, is that police would investigate, and if offenses are identified that can be charged and put to the courts, then they should be, whether that relates to the members of a hunt or those who oppose hunting. If matters proceed to court, it would be for the court to decide what outcome is appropriate." The Herald has asked the Warwickshire Hunt about its recent hunts, but has yet to respond. However, at the time of the fox kill on the 6th of September, it maintained this was an accident after the creature unexpectedly came out of the area beside where the trails had been laid. In September 2020, the hunt was banned from the village of Horton after hunts ran through a school's playground while there were children playing. At the time, villagers said the hounds were pursuing a fox. The government's website on fox hunting law states it's illegal to hunt foxes with a pack of dogs. In October, Mark Hankinson, the director of the Master of Foxhounds Association, was fined for advising hunters how to make an illegal fox hunt look like a legal trail hunt. The spokesperson for the saboteur said, as the Hankinson's case proved in the courts recently, the trail hunt is clearly a smokescreen for actual fox hunting. Why else would the hunt be running over railways, down busy roads, and through playgrounds? So the problem here is that if people take videos of these people hunting foxes, but maybe they're trespassing in order to do it, they could be charged. So it's this legal loophole that's allowing fox hunting to continue in Scotland. But if you want to get more information about this group that tries to protect animals and disrupt hunts, you can go to their website, network23.org/West Mids Hunt Abs. So that's the West Midlands Hunt Saboteurs. network23.org/WESTMIDSHUNTSABS. All right, thanks for listening to today's environmental news. We care about endangered species and climate change here at Fox Finance and want to do our part to try and raise awareness and do whatever we can in the face of this environmental reality. So, not giving up hope. We're persisting, adapting, and collaborating. But for now, let's take a break. Let's enjoy another track by Canadian DJ Rezz. This one is a peachy song. It's called Let Me In. Open up to the bass and enjoy.
I shed all my disguises, slip deep into the silence. I've been haunted by where you have me. My self-control is crashing on. Can't make these feelings go, so I'll lie awake again. Each night I play pretend. I toss and turn, I ache and yearn for rules to bend, for you to let me in.
And our last section for today's show is cryptocurrency news. First article is from BSC News by Robert D. Knight about the Binance Smart Chain, which Fox Finance lives on. They reveal how their $100 million fund will develop the next generation of crypto talent. The Binance Smart Chain has explained how the $100 million development fund will help power the next phase of crypto growth and innovation. Crypto talent. Binance Smart Chain has released further details, which is focused on advancing research, education, and career opportunities in crypto and Web 3.0. It is particularly concerned with a significant lack of crypto-native talent in the industry. It is hoped that over time, the fund can help address these issues. In many ways, crypto has become a victim of its own success, growing faster than the talent pool can keep up. BSC Matthew explained in his blog post, quote, "As the industry grows and attracts more users and investors, crypto companies struggle to find professionals to fill available positions. Whether it's finance, creative, development, or security, there are more open positions than available candidates to occupy them. We are dedicated to growing the crypto industry, and that's not possible without a sufficient talent pool," end quote. The fund itself will be split into 4 areas of interest, each targeting specific sectors and addressing different challenges. The 4 areas are: 1. Awareness events. The Binance Smart Chain will create live events which will appeal to students, job seekers, and the general public. Secondly, internships and job opportunities. The Binance Smart Chain will open job opportunities along marketing, tech, business, and security. Investments. Through the Talent Development Fund, Binance Smart Chain can finance the development of new technologies and ideas, as well as sponsor universities and educational organizations. This dual approach is hoped to create and grow crypto talent pools. Community events. Reaching out to the community, Binance Smart Chain will create educational materials and job opportunities to help them better understand blockchain. So the idea is that with educating, that the university will act as a learning hub to educate new crypto users and developers. With a larger talent pool from different education backgrounds, such as security, app development, to have a component of alliances for research, collaborating on research, new product development, having events like hackathons to explore new ideas and talent, conducting workshops and AMAs to share real-life examples and data, finding different positions and opportunities for students to become a part of the organization and blockchain movement, different fundings through different types of programs, and really trying to find that community support for new ideas, and that includes developer support on the Binance Smart Chain. So major development is going in here, and yeah, part of me wonders if Fox Finance could maybe get in on this development fund, because they're looking for crypto native talent, insiders who are stepping up to develop, and Fox Finance is a professional growing organization with a lot of ideas and innovation. So yeah, who knows, good things are happening on the Binance Smart Chain. All right. Next article is about the Squid Game token. So did you hear about the rug pull from the very famous show? They made the token Squid Game, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Now, Binance is officially investigating. So Binance is hunting down the perpetrators of the Squid Game rug pull, as Changpeng Zhao himself takes a personal interest in the case. Binance is seeking out the Squid Game scammers using chain analysis software to tip off relevant law enforcement agencies. Squid Game had perpetrated a rug pull on November 2nd, leaving users with the final message in which their development team sought to justify the theft by making the excuse, "We are depressed." With the scammers having reportedly found no joy in the robbery of their users, Binance now seeks to amplify the misery. Binance CEO has taken a personal interest in the case and took to his blog to personally address the matter. The 3 steps Binance will take is to work to identify and blacklist addresses associated with the developers, deploy blockchain analytics to identify the bad actors, and provide the findings to law enforcement in the appropriate jurisdictions. Even with Binance on the case, there is, of course, no guarantee the perpetrators will be found. Squid Game victims hoping for a successful resolution may find hope in the case of Stable Magnet, in which a community-led investigation culminated in the arrest of scammers and a recovery of funds this last August. In a substantial address to the community, Changpeng Zhao offered further advice and insights, urging users to exercise caution and good sense when dealing with DeFi projects. While the long-standing truisms of DeFi seem self-evident to more experienced heads, the influx of new investors in crypto means that old advice is continually worth repeating. He began by reminding users DYOR, or do your own research, which is the golden rule of crypto. In the light of the Squid Game rug pull, which offered many red flags for anyone caring to investigate, the Binance CEO explained why users must always dig a little deeper to get the truth about a project. Quote, Squid won't be the first or last DeFi scam. Over the past year, more first-time investors have entered the market than any other point that I can remember. We're entering a period of peak speculation. People are looking for the next get-rich-quick scheme or 100x opportunity. The truth is, those 100x don't come along often, and when they do, they usually come with a ton of risk, sometimes so much the lines get blurred between investing and gambling. For new users, CZ went on to recommend using centralized exchanges as part of a training and upskilling process. While centralized exchanges do not guarantee safety and mistakes can be made, the presence of an intermediary does offer additional safeguarding. Tokens on centralized exchanges may also have past vetting procedures, most certainly in the case of larger, more reputable companies such as Binance. Despite his recommendation for centralized exchanges, CZ remains bullish on the DeFi sector as a whole. He went on to affirm his belief that the future of the industry lies with decentralization and not centralization. To me, the benefits of DeFi far outweigh the drawbacks, but you need to arm yourself with crypto knowledge first, he concluded. Binance urges anyone with information about an ongoing scam to contact their information team and investigations at Binance.com. So that's it for our crypto news for this week. So yes, as always, do your own research. Make sure you take care of yourself, friends, and avoid getting scammed. There are some bad actors out there, but there's also some great projects like Fox Finance that are trying to make a positive difference in the world. So thanks for listening to the crypto news for this week. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of FoxDen Radio. I've been your host, Dave TheDude. We're going to finish with a final track from the Canadian DJ Rezz. She collaborated with a singer called Grabbits to produce the following song. The track is called Someone Else. So this one is about authenticity in relationships. Are you real or are you someone else? So let's find out. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next week on FoxDen Radio.
I wake up in the bed you made, the one where you're supposed to lay with me. I smell you on the pillowcase, but don't see your face, and that's okay with me. I never thought I'd see the day I'd see you as somebody I could hate. I guess that's just the price I pay for the blood red flags that I walked past every day. Who are you when I'm not looking? You're like an angel sent from hell. Despite those eyes that hurt me when I'm not looking, you are myself. Despite those lies that took me when I'm not looking, you are someone else. Hey, is it me? Did I fly you away? Am I wrong? Are you not who I say? If I call, which one of you will answer anyway? Who are you when I'm not looking? You're like an angel sent from heaven.